Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Reus and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. It's been a really long time since I posted anything and I would like to apologize for that because for the last 1 week I've arrived in Poland and immediately started doing 12-hour shifts every day. And I haven't even got a chance to test out the cards. Hopefully I can post the next showcase video next week. Also there will be a slight change of upload schedule. I would usually post it every Wednesday, but since my only free time is on the weekends, I will try my best to get a video out on Saturday or Sunday. Also I'm speaking in this very low voice because I'm in the dormitory, so I can't really speak as loud as I usually does. Now that I've finished explaining my situation, let's see the new Shigami and what they do, shall we? As usual, in this new pack they introduced another gimmick called Link. The ability basically lets you trade a card in your hand with a random card from your deck. Of course, each Shigami that has this ability have different conditions to activate this ability. For example, our poster boy for the new pack, Matsu, his condition to activate the Link ability is after you use one of his cards, the next card he used will be linked to one random card of your Shigami in the deck. Basically, you have to activate 2 cards to use his ability, and frankly, I think Matsu's ability is the weakest when compared to the other Link Shigami. The way you can tell if the card in your hand can link is by looking at the border. If it has this light blue aura around it, then when you activate this card, you can link it to a random card in your deck. Well then, since we're already talking about Matsu, might as well cover him first. Matsu is a blue mist Shigami with 3-4 stats. His card is focused around using your opponent's powerful Shigami against themselves, which I find really fun to use. First up, we have Word Refinement. It's a combat card with +1 attack and range. Move the opponent's Shigami to the combat zone. This is basically a better version of Hitotsume's Spiritual Giving because this has range and doesn't make the opponent attack your Shigami. The next card is Story of Joruri. Fast, Divination 1 for both player. I'm not quite sure how you would play this. If you really want to activate Matsu's Link ability that bad, maybe you would run this, but I would advise not to. Then we have a form card, Puppet Master. It has 3 attack and 6 health. When Matsu attack, make the opponent's Shigami attack the opponent's life. I actually like this card, but it only works for 1 turn because after the opponent sees this card, there's no way they're putting anything big on the combat zone. I would say run it as a one-off. Then we have the Ssr, which isn't that great to be honest. It has a +1 stats boost and the ability changed now to you can link each of your Shigami instead, not just one. It's not a game-changing Ssr by any means. So then we have a trigger card, Beauty. The attack damage taken by Matsu will be transferred to a random opponent's Shigami instead. The trigger ability works on any Shigami. This card is great. Usually trigger card is used for disruption and nullifying thing, but this is actually pretty aggressive and punishes your opponent for not playing around the trigger. Then we have Pluck. This card is similar to Beauty. The difference is that you can pick any Shigami to get the slap. Then we have this really pretty looking field, Night Joy House. When activated and at the start of your turn, stun a random opponent's Shigami, and when their turn starts, all stun Shigami will hit the opponent. Now this is a very fun card to make a deck around it. The intensity is low because the effect is pretty damn powerful, and in a dedicated stun build, this would be absolutely devastating. And the last card for Matsu is Emerging Dream. It has 4 attack and 7 health. When linked to your Shigami, deal 1 damage to all opponent Shigami. Not sure if it's just because of the wording, but this is just bad. It's not worth it at all. Even though the form looks stunning, I could watch the animation all day. Next Shigami is Ryomen. He's a red lotus Shigami with a much easier to understand link gimmick. He has the standard 3 attack or health stat, and when he used a win card, link to a thunder card. When he used a thunder card, link to a win card. Now you might be asking, what is this win and thunder card? Well, it is card exclusive to him, written next to the card type at the bottom of the card. His first card is Divine Might, and hence, if this card is linked to and used, deal 1 damage to all opponent Shigami. Oh right, since that word come up, might as well explain it. Link to and use. Basically, when you act this card, when it has the blue border, you will get to choose between 2 cards, and if you pick this card, even if it's in your hand, it will activate the AoE 1 damage. That 1 damage isn't really to be honest. The next card is Listener. Deal 3 damage to 1 Shigami. Move this Shigami if this card is linked to and you. Dealing 3 damage is always nice to have, and this can also drag that Shigami into the combat zone if it didn't die from the 3 damage, so you can finish it off. The next card is Evolve. It has +1 stats boost, and it makes all the enhance effect on Ryomen's card active even when not linked, which is great because the enhance effect are really freaking good. For example, Thunder Fury. This card basic effect would be pretty hard to activate if you didn't activate the enhance effect, but with the Evolve you don't need to worry about that and just hit the opponent for 5 damage and get a free draw. Then we have Gathering Storm. This turn, Ryomen gains 2 attack through shield, hunt, and haste if you enhance it. I think I already said this in my back opening stream. This card is really powerful. The next card is Thunderclap. Double Strike. Gain fast when linked. Double Strike is good, but Ryomen doesn't really have the highest health, so if you're using to attack a bigger Shigami, chances are both of them will die. Then we have Scorching Winds. Deal 4 damage to opponent unit. Enhance. Deal 2 damage to all opponent unit. This is actually a really freaking good. 6 damage to the targeted unit and 2 more for the rest of them. That will definitely hurt your opponent, and since this card can target any unit, you can use this as a finisher to kill the opponent. And finally, his Ssr Fickle Storm. It's a form card with 4 attack and 7 health. If you use the card with link effect, you can use the other link card from your library, and the first card used this way every turn does not cost any orb. This is a really good card, especially for mods because he's a bit slow when linking cards, but yeah, this card is a solid support for any link focused build. The next Shigami is Kudo and Shirology, basically the Shota version of the Mujo brother. They're separate Shigami now instead of one, and their basic ability is pretty much the same. If Shiro is on the field, when Kudo uses a card, link to one card that belongs to Shiro. So thus, when you activate Shiro's card, it will link to Kudo. Kudo has the usual Red Lotus stats, 3 attack, 4 health, and Shiro has 2 attack and 6 health because he's actually Purple Rock Shigami. So if you decide to play both of them, you're basically locked into playing a red-purple deck. We'll go through Kudo's card first, then move on with Shiro. First card is Punishment Kudo. It's a combat card with piercing and +1 attack and shield. It's a pretty standard combat card for the red Shigami. The piercing might come in handy in mid-game because Kudo has some pretty high stats form. Then we have Replace. Fast. Move one of your Shigami. Draw 1 if you move Shiro. This is basically the enhanced ability for both of them. You get a more powerful effect if you use it on their partner. Then we have Crossbone. It's a form card with 5 attack and 4 health, and when activated, if Shiro is on the field and has not died yet, put Shiro's bone on him too. It's actually a great card because you get 2 forms with 1 orb. Then we have Protective Will, another form card with 4 attack and 8 health. When Shiro or Kudo takes damage, Kudo gains +1 attack. The health is high enough for that ability, so I guess it's okay as a one-off. Then we have Joint Attack. It's a combat card. Then we have Joint Attack. It's a combat card. After Kudo attack, make Shiro attack once. It's a decent combat card. I'm not sure how many you would run in a deck. Then we have Evolve. It has +1 stats boost. Shiro gains 1 attack. After you use a link card, you can add the other card to your hand instead of returning it back to the deck, which is really good because it increases the consistency of your Shiro and Kudo doji. Then we have another form, Twin Black Shadow. It has 6 attack and 6 health and piercing. Enhance, gain haste when link and use. This is pretty good actually compared to Protective Will. And lastly, the Ssr/combo. After attacking, attack another opponent unit. If this is link yet, attack immunity. It's pretty good, not mind-blowing, but pretty decent. Now for Shiro, his first card is Punishment Shiro. It's the same card as Kudo, but change the piercing with lifesteal. So yeah, while Kudo focus on dealing damage, Shiro focus more on recovery. Then we have Soul Summon. It has fast, reduce the defeat countdown of one of your Shigami by -1. If it's Kudo, revive him instead. Yeah, this is definitely a good card to bring in your build. It's the same as Crossbone, but different stats. The next card is Sacrificial Prayer. This one is also similar to Protective Will, but instead of attack, you gain health instead. Then we have Wish. Kudo and Shiro gains +2 stats. The +2 stat is nice, but I'm not sure if you want to bring this. Especially we have more ways of removal this day. The Evolve card is pretty much the same as Kudo too. Then we have Twin White Shadow, a 6 stats form with lifesteal and enhance gain soaring if Link and used. The Kudo's version is much better because of the haste, and lastly, the Ssr Permanence. It's a combat card with plus 10 shield. This is the first time we've seen a combat card give out this much shield. The effect is very underwhelming though. The next Shigami is Kisei. I think everyone in the Discord was really excited when they revealed Kisei, and I can understand why. His card is really cool and he's great at fixing your draw. His basic ability is once per turn, on your turn, when any player shuffles their deck, Divination 1. Divination 1 isn't the most mind-blowing thing ever, but it's a good start for a basic ability. For his first card is Long Examination. It has fast, shuffle one card from your hand to deck. Then, at the start of your next turn, draw 2 additional cards. When I first read this card, I thought we only get 1 extra draw, but no, you actually draw 3 cards on your next draw phase. And since this card returns a card to the deck, this works well for Kidomaru if you don't want to use his card yet. Then we have Ladder. It's a powerful combat card with plus 2 attack. Enhance, if you shuffle your deck, gain attack immunity. It's simply powerful because how easy it is to use. Then we have Kiai. Deal 3 damage to one opponent's Shigami. If it's not dead, shuffle one random card that belongs to that Shigami back to the deck. I love using this card, especially against Kaguya. But yeah, most of the time you want the shuffle effect instead of killing the Shigami. Then we have his Ssr, Godly Move. Add 1 card of your other Shigami to hand. Basically Destiny Draw. So of course it's good. Getting any card you want is always good in any game. Probably one of the best Ssr in the game. Then we have Evolve. It has plus 1 stats boost. Redraw your hand 3 times. And the basic ability now does Divination 2 instead of Divination 1. This one is good enough as a one-off in your deck, I think. Then we have Rescue. It has fast, recover 3 health, draw a card, then shuffle this card back into your deck. Yeah, this is definitely a good card. It lets you recover health and possibly get to your combo piece faster. Then we have Summary. Shuffle all fields and forms on the field back to the deck. Now this is a completely ridiculous card. If you're fighting against fields, they will surrender right then and there. And lastly we have Scattered Stars. It's a form card with just 1 stats, but the Enhance give this card X stat. X equal to half of your card left in the deck. So this card can easily reach 10 plus stat, but the downside is it's just a really big body with nothing to it. Then we have Ungaikyo, probably one of the coolest looking Shigami in my opinion. Love the broken mirror aesthetic, and I was lucky enough to complete his cards. Ungaikyo is a green Shigami with 2 attack and 5 health. When he uses a card, link to one of his cards. I think Ungaikyo has the best link mechanic purely because it is simple. His first card is Falling Shadow. When linked to this card, all cards linked to it gain lifesteal. Most of Ungaikyo's cards have a keyword buff, and the card effect is the short one at the bottom, dealing 3 damage to one opponent unit. It's simply a great card, and the 3 damage is very balanced for green. Then suddenly we have his Ssr. When link, gain plus 1 stats. Additional effect from linking becomes permanent. So basically if you activate his card and it is linked to this card, this form will gain plus 1 stat and the keyword that card gives. It's powerful but might take a while to buff up. Then we have Alternation. It's a combat card with hunt and minus 2 attack. When linked, all linked cards gain piercing. In this combat, exchange the attack of Ungaikyo with the target Shigami. I personally like this card because it basically lets Ungaikyo attack a big Shigami without any risk, since Ungaikyo's attack will be 0 when using this card. Then we have Hidden Sun. When linked to this card, gain Projectile 2. The actual effect of this card is just Projectile 3, but it is still really powerful. I would definitely recommend bring 2 of this in any build because Projectile is still really strong. The next card is Grand Illusion. It's a form with 4 attack and 6 health. When linked to this card, all forms gain haste. It's meh, but the haste is nice. But when compared to his other card, this card is very mediocre. Then we have Evolve. It has plus 1 stats boost, and when linked to this card, gain fast. The extra effect only works if you somehow link a card with the same name, which is really rare, so you don't really need to pay attention to that. You maybe run this as a one-off just for that fast keyword. Then we have Mirror's Wrath. It's combat card with plus 4 shield. When linked, all cards gain crit. This is actually scary good because Ungaikyo's card already has decent number, so when it gains crit, it's even more dangerous. And his last card is Elucidation. When linked to this card, draw 1 card and deal 2 damage to all opponent units. This card is also meh. The 2 damage AoE is pretty good, but at level 3 you want something that you can turn the tide of the battle, not this win more card. The next Shigami is Hako Shoujo, and we got another girl with dull joints. Fuck yeah! She and Komatsumaru is the one I'm looking forward the most to play with because of her unique basic ability. She's a purple rock Shigami with 3 attack and 4 health. She has charge. Once per turn, when you dice roll, she gains charge equal to the dice roll. This makes her the fastest charge Shikigami to date, but it comes with a cost. Let's see her first card, Flowing Light. Deal 3 damage to one Shikigami. Burst 10. Deal 10 damage instead. Yes, you read that correct. Burst 10. All of her cards needs Burst 10 to activate the extra effect. Then we have Treasure Box. It's a form with 3 attack and 6 health. When activated, luck check 4, divination 3, and at the end phase, use 10 charge to draw 1 card. It's a weaker version of Yoribo's card, but the on activation divination 3 is a nice touch. Then we have Open Box. Summon a Cherished Box. Cherished Box is a summon with 0 attack and 4 health. With the effect, when attacking or being attacked, luck check and gain attack equal to the result during that combat only. So at max, it will get plus 6 attack, but at worst, it will just be a small wall. Then we have Wolf, gain 10 charge, and her basic ability now lets her gain charge whenever you dice roll, not just once per turn. It's good as a one-off, definitely. Then we have another form, Ornate Box. It has 6 attack and 5 health, and Burst 10, this card gains 5 health. A potential 6 attack and 10 health is nice, but it's not worth using the burst for this card in my opinion. Then we have Dreams, revive all of your Shikigami. Burst 10, also recover 10 health. Now this is an insane card. Not only you revive all of your Shigami, you also get to recover a huge chunk of your life. And this card is not even an SSR, it's a freaking common. Then we have Brilliance. It has fast, open a card pack of your Shigami, then select 1 card, add it to your hand, and Burst 10, add all of the cards to your hand. This is a meme worthy card. You open a card pack in the middle of a game and add 1 card from that. It is so ridiculous and I love it. And lastly, we have Dazzling Box. It's a form with 7 stats. It has piercing, and when activated and at the start of your turn, luck check 4, gain 1 orb, and at the end phase, use 10 charge to projectile 10 damage. And lastly, we have Dazzling Box. It's a form with 7 stats and piercing. When activated and at the start of your turn, luck check 4, gain 1 orb, and at the end phase, use 10 charge to projectile 10 damage. This card is really powerful. Not only you get a free orb every turn if you land the luck check, you also get to fire off a 10 projectile piercing at the end phase. And the last Shigami of this pack is the cutest one, Komatsumaru. She's a green Shigami with 2 attack and 6 health. Komatsumaru countdown -1 when you land your luck check, and it takes effect even when she's dead. So this makes her almost always available as long as you landed the luck check. Her first card is Curiosity. It's a form card with 2 attack and 7 health. So when Komatsumaru attack, -1 to her countdown. This form and all of her forms has countdown effects, so you might want to read though. This one is really decent because you gain a semi-permanent +1 stats. Then we have Pinecone Handling, fast, rebound, can be played when defeated. Luck check 4, draw 1 card. I mean, drawing a card is cool, but this card does absolutely nothing if you failed luck check, so I wouldn't recommend bringing this. Then we have Pinecone Rage, move Komatsumaru to the combat zone, then deal 3 damage to one opponent Shigami. Luck check 4, stun this Shigami. Now this is actually a really good one. Not only you get to damage them, you can also get to stun them if you land luck check. Then we have another form card, Timidity. This is 8 stats form with countdown +3 when Komatsu is defeated. I mean, that's understandable. You wouldn't give a green Shigami a form with this huge stats at level 2 without giving it some downside. Then we have another form, Forest Idol. It has 2 attack and 6 health. It has fast. When activated, move Komatsumaru to the combat zone, then draw 1 card. Countdown 2. Return this card to the hand. Now, if this is the first time you read it, you might be confused. Why the hell does it return to the hand after 2 turns? Well, it is so that you can use it over and over again. Not only it recovers Komatsumaru's health, you also get a free blocker and a draw with this card. So yeah, definitely bring 2 of this if you don't have the SSR. The next card is Nimble Leaf. It has Hunt and +2 attack. Luck check 4, gain attack immunity. Yep, this is powerful, even though there are times you will fail the luck check, but the plus attack will cover that for you. Then we have the Evolve. Whenever Komatsumaru's countdown reaches 0, this card gains +1. This is just a plain stats boost card, it doesn't really do anything else. And lastly, the SSR. Incoming Winter. Your countdown -2 when activated. Countdown 2, summon Delicious Pinecone. When it leaves the field, give Komatsumaru random countdown. Delicious Pinecone is a summon with 4 stats and fusion. The keyword gain is just a win more effect, but the Pinecone is actually pretty formidable as a wall and attacker. And that's about it for for my first impression of the new Shigami. Overall, I think this pack will diversify the meta in rank. Is it for the new player? Not really. There are some Shigami like Shiro and Kudo that you can use immediately, but there's also Shigami like Matsu, Hakushojo, and Komatsumaru that need support from other older Shigami to make full use of their ability. I hope this helps you make the decision if you want to spend on this pack or wait for the next pack. And what do you think of the new pack? Let me know down below. If you want to support the channel, I have Patreon and Ko-Fi links down below. And as usual, if you have any feedback, leave it down in the comments, and see you on the next video. Bye!